Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the wonderful Decidedly Vanilla server with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in this episode, you guys, we're going to be establishing a pathway that branches off the one that leads from the Arch of Titus through the outskirts of the Raccoon Sanctuary and up to the House of Sovereigns. And that is because off camera and also during my live streams over on Twitch, if you tune into those, you will most likely have seen me wander from the outskirts of the Raccoon Sanctuary into town by traversing through the animal farm. And if I had to choose between establishing an official pathway and continuing to wander through a smelly animal farm, I think I would probably go with the whole idea of establishing a pathway. But as you can tell, I've already done most of the work off camera. Now before we go ahead and dig up the stone and replace it with cobblestone and gravel, let me go ahead and just fill you guys in on what I'm thinking of doing with this pathway. So as you can tell, it wraps down around through here, and a few episodes back I had mentioned the idea of possibly creating the Roman aqueducts that leads from Mr. Sir KB's ice tray over yonder in the distance and letting the other side of the Roman aqueducts be on our side of the riverbed, so that way then we can say we have an official water source for the Raccoon Sanctuary and those who live within it. But also what I thought I would do with that idea is create a small harbor-like area in this area, a place where we can go ahead and transport our fishermen and our fletchers to then be able to idly stand around and maybe make a buck or two if they're able to pitch their sales correctly to the appropriate consumers and such. But instead of drifting too far into the future, let's go ahead and stick with the present. So let's go ahead and take our ender chest, prop it down right next to the bed that I have been laying my head to rest at so that I can make it the day. And in the event that any hostile creatures want to take a peek at what we're doing, let's armor up so that way then they don't hurt us too much in the event that they don't like what they see. And like I said, we're going to be replacing the cobblestone with we're going to be replacing the stone blocks with cobblestone and gravel. So, hello? I thought I heard footsteps. Oh, that's my footsteps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's see which variant of the stone, which texture variant is the most occurring throughout the stone so far. And it looks like the not so vibrant shade of gray is the overruling texture variant. So where we have the vibrant shade of gray is where I'm gonna just lay down my cobblestone, and then where the not so vibrant shade of gray is where I'll lay down the gravel block. So that way then we have a little variation going on, and at least in this resource pack, considering that both the cobblestone and gravel blocks have their own variants to that, that'll just help even more so with applying variation into this pathway. Now, one reason why I left a 1 block space in between parts of the pathway is so that then what I can do is, do I have a crafting chest table on me? No, I don't. Let's go ahead and grab the Builder's Beginner's Kit. Let's go ahead and snap one and place it down. Take 3 stone blocks, convert them into stone slabs. Take 3 cobblestone blocks, convert them into cobblestone slabs. And now we'll place the stone blocks down on the bar, and we're gonna just dig up these 3 grass blocks, lay down the cobblestone, and then where we have the vibrant shade of gray is where we're going to place down our cobblestone, and right where we have the not so vibrant shade of gray is where we're going to place down our stone slabs. And we're going to continue to do this going all the way up, and ooh, look at that, this little section of the pathway is going to only be stone slabs. Interesting. Depending on what blocks we place down and then what texture variants we get from them, we may change that because, well, subject is always available to change when it comes to Minecraft. It's one of the beauties of this game. And how about once I finish this off, how about now that you guys have a general idea as to how I'm going to be creating this pathway, I'm going to finish the rest of it off camera. And when I bring it back, we're then going to continue to work on it so that it leads into town, and then we're possibly also going to get our build on and build at least 2 structures within this area. So I'll bring it back when we're ready to continue. Well, there you go, peeps. We have our pathway wrapping all the way around this area, and then it connects with the already established pathway. And as you can tell right here, we have the foundation for the first of the 2 structures that we will be getting our build on with throughout this episode. And my only concern is that it's brushing up against the pathway. However, whenever I go online and I look up ancient Roman forms reconstructed along with ancient Roman temples reconstructed, I can't help but get this general idea that things were a little compact in terms of walkways and spaces in between structures and such. So that's gonna help give some peace at mind when getting my build on in this area. But I digress. So I think I'm gonna stick with the general use of blocks with what I've already been doing here at the Raccoon Sanctuary, and that is letting the walls be composed of andesite, and then the roof be composed of stone brick stairs, stone brick slabs, and stone brick blocks, and then creating the pillars out front out of polished diorite. I had to quickly check what it was, I'm sorry, but create the pillars that sit out front of each of these structures with polished diorite and cobblestone walls. But it looks like it's getting to be dusk again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and lay my head to rest, begin to get my build on, and I'll bring it back when this structure is for the most part completed, and then we'll discuss what purpose it's going to have here within the Raccoon Empire. So the Temple of Augustus in Livia is coming along now, and considering the fact that I went ahead and applied 2 more pillars to the front of this structure, at that point it was brushing up onto the pathway, so I had to dig it up, and we're gonna reconstruct that pathway, but I really just want to go ahead and finish up this first build. And while we do so, I'm gonna just run by you guys what I'm gonna be using the Temple of Augustus in Livia for, and that is, I'm gonna need some more stone brick slabs. Just go ahead and take a stack, drag it across there. That's probably gonna be not enough stone brick slabs for the completion of the roof, but we're just gonna go ahead and make do with what we have. So the purpose of this temple is going to be to house my, at this point, I'm going to say my building materials, because right now I'm hoarding, I have to say. I can't even say storing, but I'm hoarding everything that I come across in Minecraft over in the Raccoon Building Company. And essentially, the Raccoon Building Company is just it's a place where people on the server can come and say, hey, Van, I need you to build something for me, and they can place their order down, and then I'll get to work on the job, whether they request that I do an A1 build job, an A1 landscaping job, or an A1 renovation job for them. But considering that if we were to take a peek into the Raccoon Building Company, we're just gonna trip over things laying around on the ground, and we're also going to if we take a look at any of the chests, we'll see that it's for the most part fairly stocked with anything and everything that one could possibly acquire in Minecraft. And I'm gonna bye-bye polished. I don't even know what block that was. Bye-bye polished andesite block. Okay, but yeah, so again, this is going to be where this is where I will officially store a lot of my building materials at. I do plan on eventually taking a good look as to what I have in my builder's beginner's kit along with the Raccoon Building Company, and see if I could possibly come up with some excuses to carry some more building related resources in a shulker box or on my person, just so I don't have to be hoarding so much of it. Now let me go ahead and finish doing this roofing job, and I'll see you guys when we're ready to begin working on the second and final structure for this episode. So why don't we go ahead and just take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with you all. And the Temple of Augustus in Livia has been completed, and I even threw down 2 piggy wig statues in front of it just to indicate that we have our beloved piggy wigs watching over the raccoon sanctuary. But as we continue to walk down this pathway that I actually had to redo just so it could match up with everything else that we've been working on throughout this episode, we have another small ancient Roman temple being built, and this is actually not going to be based off of one that is dedicated to a historical figure. No. This is gonna just be a small ancient Roman form temple, and it's gonna bear I don't want to say an eerie, but it's gonna bear a resemblance to the small ancient Roman houses that we built back over here in the outskirts. Ooh, what are they doing? I'm so sorry for zooming in via the power of Optifine if anyone saw that and knows what I'm talking about. But like I said, this is just going to be a small ancient Roman form temple, and because we have the word form in that title, obviously we're going to be establishing a small form right here, so that way then if the farmer who tends to the animal farm here would like to sell some leather or possibly some uncooked meats, then they'll be able to do so right here. And let me go ahead and just finish off this build, and when I bring it back, we'll begin to do a little bit of landscaping around this temple. Not this one, because I have some ideas as to how I want to cover up the stone foundation that is going along here and is pretty exposed. But we'll just do a little landscaping around this small ancient Roman form temple, and then we'll conclude this episode. So I'll be right back with ya. Goodbye. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, it's just about that time where we must begin to say farewell. But before we go ahead and do so, let's just take a look as to what I've done off camera. And as you can tell, the small ancient Roman form temple has been completed, and we even have 4 pillars going across the front and 4 pillars going along both sides, and we have right next to it a small ancient Roman form. Now we do have beetroots growing along the surrounding area, and basically what I did was I took some bones, converted them into bone meal, and just did a bit of a bone job around the place. And wherever I saw a flower, I picked it up, placed it in a flower pot, and then just took my beetroot seeds and planted them. And so far they seem to be growing fairly happily. But as I said, it's just about that time where we must begin to say farewell. But before we go ahead and do so, I would like to offer you all a bit of a challenge. And that challenge is, if we can get at the least 7 likes on this DVLP within the first 24 hours of when it goes live, then I will go ahead and record and upload a bonus DVLP for you all over the weekend. But if you enjoyed this episode, then leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, then I highly encourage you to check out the rest of it. But do not forget to turn on notifications when subscribing, that way you'll be notified when future Minecraft and other gameplay content is uploaded by yours truly, Vanillaraccoon. But I'd like to wish you all a happy day, and peace out.